Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Bum, bum, bum. Do, do. Do, do. Bow, bow, meow, meow. Hello, everybody. How goes it out there in internet land? Rune Wolf, how you doing, buddy? How is your Saturday treating you? It sounds like you just got a bunch of stuff done, so congrats on that. All right. Let me move some stuff around. Boop, boop, boo. We got a lot of work to get done. A lot of work to get done today. So, I'm tired but doing good. Yeah, well, if you were doing late night edits, I imagine you are pretty tired by this point. Yeah, I definitely had a slow morning as well. It took me a little bit to get going, so hoping that the sprints wake me up and I get all this stuff done, because I really would like to have at least a majority of the script plotted out, at least by sometime next week. Would be really nice that I can actually get started on pages. But we'll see. We'll see if that goes. Sometimes depends how writers block and how everything falls together. Oh yeah, I slept at like 2 a.m. and woke up at 6:30. You woke up early, Rune Wolf. Yeah, you only got like 4.5 hours. I would say, oh, I was up late, which I was. I was up till about 2 as well, but I slept in. I don't think I woke up till about like 8:30. So I got to like actually still sleep in a little bit. So you have it a lot. You're running on like no sleep. So be sure, if you need to take a break and take a nap, go for it, Rune Wolf. I'm telling you, man, do not exhaust yourself if you can help it. After I had that 2 weeks of like really bad insomnia, it broke my soul. That's good, but I work at 9 a.m. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you work. So you're an early bird. There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah, okay, watching The Blacklist. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Probably will. Yeah. No shame in naps, particularly if you were up late and had to be up early for work. Uh, naps are good. Naps are definitely good. All right, let me get my notes here all set up, and then we will probably dive in pretty early. We're starting stream a little bit earlier today, but we're gonna try to get some major progress done. So at least 3 sprints for sure. Man, I need to. You know, it's funny. You mentioned watching Blacklist. I need to like. I've been so out of it. I haven't even been watching like a ton of movies, which I feel bad about. Usually, I try to make a habit of watching at least one every day or one every other day, and I've pretty much been working and then like reading a book and then going to sleep. So it's maybe Sunday and Monday, since Monday's a holiday. I'll try and catch up. I'm way behind on all my TV shows. Massively behind. There was a couple anime that I'm trying to get caught back up on. I was watching the reboot of Ramna, which I'm way behind on. I'm just way out. That ship has sailed. And I am way past. But the second season of Apothecary Diaries just kicked back up, and that was like one of my favorite shows from 2 seasons ago. So very, very excited to start back up on Apothecary Diaries. It's a very good show. And then, so yeah. Yeah, it was same. Lurk. I'm glad to see Tort's working. I know Opera Soria was getting it up and running, so huzzah for that. Opera Soria making Tort actually behave properly. Like, actually properly behave. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, let's see, where are we at here? We're going to... Let's see here. Alright, we're gonna run some ads, and then we're gonna dive into our first sprint. So, We're gonna start early because I want to make sure that we actually get a decent amount of sprint time done. So we're gonna run ads and then we're gonna get to the words, folks. Get to the words. But go get your tea, get stocked, get ready to go. Warm up the brain, all the goodies. Do 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 do. Get the tunes set up. I'm like slowly actually developing the proper playlist for this script, so that's good. Do 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 do. We're getting the zetoons. Zetoons. Actually, let's just go ahead and kill this now. Do. Alright, we're gonna kill the music. Switch everything over. Oh, did I have... Okay, I already had it switched over in OBS. Okay, there we go. Alright. All goods. All goods. Let's get into the spooky vibes. Obviously, if the music is not to your vibes or your liking, obviously feel free to mute away. Do I still... I like how I have coffee and tea, and I'm just like getting confused and drinking both. What am I even doing? All right, notebook. All right. The engineer, welcome in. I made a fantasy race that turned out to be an allegory for Modern Humans Day Ruined. Oh no! Also, welcome in, the engineer. How's it going? Made a fantasy race that turned out to be an allegory to modern humans. That is, I mean, in a lot of ways, a lot of fantasy species tend to do that in a lot of ways. So, you know, I don't think you're like totally off, but I feel you. I feel you. Day ruined. That can be rough when you realize you're like, oh, whoops, no good, no bueno. It happens sometimes. Sometimes we think we got something cool, and then you think about it for 2 seconds. You're like, oh, that was a mistake. That was a terrible mistake. But that's all part of the process. It's good that you're aware of it. It's good to call it out or try to call it out early, or at least if for whatever reason it's not working or it's like completely wrong-headed, then you're like, oh, well, at least, you know. At least it's not like you hopefully didn't spend, you know, weeks or months writing an entire novel and realize you have to rethink everything. They're called the white kobolds. They invade habitats, destroy everything to plant crops, fast-growing trees for wood and fields for cattle. And they also have a fungus on their skin that slowly kills the things that they touch that weren't adapted. Yeah, it was like, I mean, or you could just make that as you could also make that an allegory for for colonialism and imperialism. It doesn't even have to be. I mean, maybe the term white kobolds gives it away, but you could absolutely make it a you know, you could still make that work. You can make it a, you know, depending on if you want them to be an allegory for or a possible allegory for colonialism and all that or imperialism, or just generally the shit Europeans and the Americas got up to between the 16th and the 21st century. All right. Are we out of ads? All right, we're out of ads. All right. We're going to dive in to our first sprints. Obviously, music is going to be creepy vibes since I'm writing a creepy script. But yeah, obviously, you know, if it's not to what you're working on, mute away and play your tunes. But let's go get these words. Happy writing, everybody, and we will catch you on the other side. And away we go. Oh, whoops. There we go. Oh, welcome in, Raiders. Do. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Telenar, though? Hopefully I didn't mess that up. But welcome, everybody. We're just actually finishing up our first sprint. Welcome, Telen Artho. There we go. Let me do a shout out. How did the stream go? Hopefully the words were treating you well if you are writing and or reading. Do. Nice work. Cool, thank you. But how'd it go? How'd the stream go? Welcome in, everybody. I'm Wylite. Just to introduce myself. I'm a screenwriter and a filmmaker, so we come on here and we do sprints where we're writing. I'm primarily focused on screenplays. But yeah, welcome in. Let me... Let's see if that works. There we go. Cool. Today was a bit of everything, eh? Job searching, story submissions, hell yeah, some writing, and then some Stardew Valley. Welcome in. Woo! 6 hours? Well done. That's a lot. That's a... Good lord. And that is the end of our first sprint, so perfect timing. We'll start the break timer and chat a bit. Knocked over my water. Chat a bit. Stardew Valley, man, I haven't played Stardew Valley in a few years. I feel like I need to get back into it. I feel like I absolutely I don't know, I miss playing it. It's just such a mellow experience. Just very, very delightful, mellow experience. But hopefully the job searching went pretty well and the story submissions. Hopefully that all went well. Currently, right now, what I'm working on is I'm trying to get this. I'm doing a horror film, but very much in the vibe of like Scream / I Know What You Did Last Summer. That kind of like 90s, a little bit of pulpy kind of kid, like late high school, early college teen horror film kind of thing. So we're trying to crack. We're trying to crack that kind of story. So. I started as a reward for a charity event last year. Been kind of obsessed since. Oh, that's cool. For Stardew? Hell yeah. That's badass. Hold on. Let me kill them, or at least turn the music down just a hair while we're on our break. If you can't tell, we're rolling with spooky vibes today. Job searching sucks my soul. I know that. I know that life. Story submissions feels good. Been a few weeks since I've been able to send stuff out. Well, that's good. At least you're kind of balancing the soul-sucking, just despair of our current plight, trying to find work and jobs, and then move that with that. So, like, something that, like, actually is more in line with what is fulfilling to the soul, and also what you might want to do with your life. Yeah, that's submitting for stories is... I've only just recently started dabbling with like writing in prose again. So that whole world of like submitting for stories, submitting your stories to journals, I'm still learning about it, but everybody I've talked to, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it getting in to that, like to either get published or to at least get paid to have your work in like a journal. Just sounds like it sounds very difficult. So good job. Good on you for doing that, because I know the struggle is real. But yeah, what kind of what's like your primary what do you prefer to write? Are you fantasy, sci-fi, drama, just narrative? What's like your I guess your genre of choice, or what you prefer to write? Feels great. You send it out and get a response between 1 and 300 days later. Thanks. We had 1,200 and pick 4. Yeah. You get that a little bit when you submit. I submitted a film. I just got done with the festival circuit for submitting a film I made. That was a protracted and prolonged process, and I can't tell you how many of you hear back 8 months later when you're already like almost done trying to like submit it, and they're like, we had 10,000 submissions and we definitely didn't pick yours. And I'm like, yeah, the festival was a month ago. I figured. But I feel ya. Genre, I do whatever I please at a time. Hell yeah. What is this? What is... Uh, okay, Talina One Breakfast, cool, was my first collection. Hell yeah, okay. Contemporary realism, very cool. I do have a lot of spec fic though. Okay, is that like a spec screenplay? Um, I don't know if the terminology is different. Um, Let me look it up just so I know what you mean. Because specs. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Horror, fantasy, sci-fi. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Contemporary realism is pretty cool. I haven't read a lot of contemporary, like what I would consider like realism recently. I've definitely read a lot of like, I've definitely read it back in like the '60s, but nothing like recent that I can think of. I'm sure it's out there, and I just haven't done it. But my dabbling in terms of literature, what I've been reading is generally kind of magical realism. So I've been reading a lot of that type stuff. But contemporary realism is hell yeah. I don't see that very often. Usually everybody I see is doing generally fantasy. So very cool, very cool. I've wondered about doing horror. See, the problem is I feel like horror in literature is really hard to pull off. At least for me. I have a hard time reading novels and short stories that are horror. Fantasy, sci-fi, that's different. But for whatever reason, horror just does not grab me. And just funny because like Stephen King, there's famous horror writers, but for whatever reason, it's hard to land. Although I did read a horror book a couple years ago called Echo that I really liked. But yeah, other than that, it's hard for me. Hey, Cryptid! Hey, welcome in, Cryptid. Yeah, horror writers are quite bad. That's true. I mean, I'd include Stephen King in that too. It's not a lot of Stephen King books I can actually like really ride with. Um, uh, these ones were just close to me in group 2. Oh, very cool. Okay, I have 2 other collections that I need to add stories to before when I publish it. Okay, that's great. Disagree with Stephen King. I mean, most people I know love Stephen King. I just can't. I can't. I don't know. I have a hard time with King. But most of my friends who are horror junkies like really like, or like a lot of my film friends who do horror, they all love Stephen King. I have a hard time. Oh, a lot of horror. Oh man, well if you know any, please let me know some, please. Please let me know, because I would love to read like horror writers. Yeah, okay, I'm in that camp. Not for you, but if you know good horror writers, definitely like I will take recommendations, please, because that is a genre that I feel like I should be able to. That should work, I think. Maybe I'm just reading the wrong ones. The ones we were just hold on. These ones were just close to me and grouped it together well. Got it. I have 2 other collections that I need to add stories to before they publish them. That's rad. That I like that you're publishing like I like that you're publishing like collections of stories. I feel like that's a smart way to go about it. No, nothing catching on fire, Cryptid. All is well. All is well. As much hate as that gets me for yeah, I was like, what you're working on, that's got to be rough. I'm sure that's rough. I quite enjoyed Clay McLeod's Clay McLeod Chaplin's What Kind of Mother. Okay, let me look this up. Read From the Belly Twilight. Oh, it's wailing horror. Okay, well, Moby Dick is like one of my favorite is pretty much my favorite novel of all time. So, I will. You're gonna get me to read it if it's about wailing, probably. What kind of mother? Let's see here. What kind of mother? Oh, you know what? I did read a novel that I really liked recently. I don't know how old it is, but it's called Bad Brains by an author. I think their name is Koha. But that was pretty good. That legit freaked me out. It was like it's like horror, like biology horror. That hit. So there's a couple. But I feel like I get like one or two every 10 years, and I kind of wish there was more. There's been some very good queer horror stories the last couple of years, but it's few and far between. Yeah, okay, okay. Um, okay, this looks interesting. After striking out her own as a teen mom, Maddie Prince is forced to return to her hometown. Cool. Always good. Always a return to the hometown gone wrong story. Um, let's see. Is forced to hometown, Brandywine, Virginia, with her 17-year-old daughter. With nothing to her name, she scrapes together a living as a palm reader at the local farmers market. Cool. It's there that she connects with an old high school flame, Henry McCabe. Now a recluse local fisherman whose infant son, Skylar, went missing 5 years ago. Everyone in town is sure Skylar is dead. But when Maddie reads Henry's palm, she's haunted by strange and disturbing visions that suggest otherwise. Okay. As she follows the thread of these visions, Maddie discovers a terrifying night way, the center of the labyrinth, and it's coming. All right. This sounds compelling. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I read Skin back in the early 2000s. Also, very good body horror. Yeah, I figure that's kind of that's the vibe, because Bad Brains like mess me up. Bad Brains really mess me up. So, I think it was the closest experience I had to like a visceral reading reaction that I did to Crash, which like still to this day might be the most viscerally off-putting and intense reading experience I've ever had in my life. But but I do kind of have like a weird like obsession with Ballard a little bit. Um, so let's see here. I know Twilight. I remembered From the Belly is by Emmett Nahil. Okay, From the Belly. Yes, I'm gonna look that up. From the Belly. Emmett Nahil. All right. Okay, let me add these to my ever growing book list. my ever growing list of horror novels that hopefully will make me fall in love with horror and literature again. Strangest massive whale containing a still living man secret. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm into that. I am very much into that. Hailing from a haunted seaside town, Massachusetts. So yeah, very cool. Okay, I am adding all of these. Okay, so we got From the Belly and What Kind of Mother. All right. Well, thank you so much for the rec. I need more horror fiction that I can get behind. Because I tell thee what, I am not impressed. I have been listening to because I remember Ghostly recommended the audiobook for Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay, and I was listening to the audiobook, and it's pretty good. It definitely like gets nerd vibes just because it's about film, the film world and stuff. But I'm not 100%. It's not creeping me out. I'm not getting creeped out by it. So, but I do find it funny. There's definitely parts that are very cheeky and funny. I can see why Ghostly likes it. Salutes and slow to read because brains are a pain. Got it. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much again for the raid. Have a great stream. And we will get that writing done. And take care. Take care. All right. Actually, yeah, we gotta get started on our next sprint, folks. I have over chatted. Over chatted. Okay. All right. Let's hop into our second sprint, everybody. Get those words done. Only by a minute. All right. Oh, actually, no. Wait. Let's run ads. I have to remember to do the stupid ad thing, or the ads will interrupt the sprint. Okay. So the way I do this for everybody who rated in, if you're still hanging out with us, I run the ads during the break, so the ads don't like abrasively interrupt the writing sprint, because I know that can throw people, and it definitely interrupts a lot of things. So get tea. Do all that. We're gonna run some ads, and then be back in a couple minutes to get started on the sprint. So away we go. We'll see you back in a couple minutes. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, yes, yeah. There we go. All right. Actually, let me use this opportunity to go get stocked on water. So I'll be right back. Okay, still got an hour left. Or hour. Minute. Alright. Let's bring the music back up. Do. Alright, we're back. We are back. Alright, everybody. Back from the pesky ads, and it is time to get started on our sprints. Happy writing, everybody, and we will catch you on the other side. And away we go. Alrighty. There we go, everybody. That's the end of the sprint. Woo! Hopefully it was a productive sprint for everybody. Yeah, it snuck up on me as well, which is a good sign. Good sign. Work is getting done. Oh, thank God I was worried for a second. I log on to you in normal clothes and then no bead curtain. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it depends. It depends how frazzled and last minute things go. But yes, no, the bead curtain's still doing its thing. It's over there. If I go in and out. But yeah, the cat cam wasn't working. Sometimes I don't know, it's a terrible camera. It's a crappy little thing, so I assume either the plug's not working or something like that. But I'll get it back up and running at some point. But all right, but yeah, hopefully that was a productive sprint for everybody. Hopefully you found the words treating you well. Hopefully. RIP Cat Cam. It was a valid attempt. Yeah, I mean it really just films the where because they tend to sleep back there, so it's just a more direct shot of that. But you can still see him in the background usually. Whew. Jeez. Woo. Sleepy time. All right. Alright, but we're good. We're doing well. We're making progress. My biggest goal was to try to have most of, at least enough of it plotted out that I can start actually moving to pages. Because I don't need all of them. I just generally need my signposts. But the more I have figured out, the better. It tends to lead to less like rewrites. So we'll see. We'll see if we get there, because it would be really nice to be able to start on pages on this one soon. Because I'm also trying to break my revenge cop film. And I want to start trying to break that one here pretty quick. So we're going to be attempting to write 2 scripts concurrently, which will be an interesting experiment. A very interesting experiment. I'm taking a break. Okay, you're taking a break from Vamp Book to outline something new. Hell yeah. Trying to see if I can let my brain just play in the sandbox if I can get back to the Vamps. Yep, sometimes it's all it takes. Yeah, it's kind of I kind of switch back to the sword and sorcery like pulp thing. That's kind of almost like a wind down or wind up writing exercise for me. So I tend to either do it in the morning or towards the end of the day when I'm either winding down or something. It's become kind of my like reboot button a little bit while I'm working on these other 2 scripts. And because it's a different style of writing, when I was doing tabletop RPG writing, I found that really refreshing to be able to kind of like help my brain kind of rework back to when I was writing scripts. I just find that sometimes either a different topic, a different story, or even a completely different style of writing tends to help, or at least it tends to help me. And if that doesn't work, my housemate will probably just start throwing things at me. That's true. Just get it done. You gotta get it done, and just huffing, just chucking things at you. Makes sense. I used to have multiple projects at once, but querying Witchpunks was taking up a lot of yeah, that's true. It's kind of why I've actually switched away from trying to finish my pitch decks for. I'm gonna go back to working on the pitch deck for Pond Boys, and I'm mostly done with the rewrite stuff for the pitch decks for Blue Devils. I want to go back up to Wyoming and do a little bit of like photography, and like just go out, grab some locations that I actually want to use when I'm filming it to put into the pitch deck. I have a few of those from a scouting from my last movie, but I really want to like more focused specifically to what I had in mind when I was writing it. So I'm kind of holding off on finishing the pitch deck for Blue Devils at the moment, specifically for that reason. But that's kind of the reason why I'm not working on the pitch decks right now, is I'm really trying to get into trying to write 2 scripts at once. I probably should have not made them both very dark. I mean, one's like an action revenge movie that is also very dark And this one is like the sort of pulp high school horror slasher, but has turned out to be very, very dark. So in terms of the stuff I'm tackling with it, so maybe next time I'll do something a little less dark and then something dark, because I have noticed I'm like, oh, I'm doubling down on the dark vibes a little much here. Um, she also has threatened to hop on stream, so she may appear. Oh, hell yeah, that's badass, scripted. Hell yeah, that would be delightful. Oh, this sounds wonderful. I'm stoked. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the goal is keep on writing until you can eventually convince some insane person to give you enough money to make it. That's the idea. Twilight tries to make a pulp. No, wait, I made this too doom and gloom again. Yep. Too oftentimes can very much be the case. I don't mind if it's like tackling a subject that's dark. When I did my cyberpunk rom-com, that's probably about as light as I'll go in terms of it's got a lot of my moody bullshit in it, but I'm doing it in a little bit more of a, it's like a Pixies song, you know. You can make it a little poppy and a little punchy, and it's a fun song to dance to, and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, that's kind of fucked up what they're singing about. It's a little bit like that. So I think yeah, these ones are a little, I am gonna try to inject a decent amount of humor, at least with the characters in this. Or like Pawn Boys is a good example of that. I mean, Pawn Boys is functionally like a Nietzschean critique, almost a critique on both rich and poor alike, um, or at least I would say an existential critique, while also being a class critique at the same time. But that's got a lot of levity and is just kind of a hangout movie. But like the subtext of it's pretty dark and damning in a way. Um, that's the plan, and why I'm making the hard choice of Shelf Witch Punks. Yeah, as much as it gets kicked in the butt. Yeah, I get that. I mean, the haunted house movie that I tried, I wrote on stream, and then I went back to revisit it to try to rewrite it, and I had to shelve it again. That one really is a kick in the gut, because that's me, right? Like that's, I think that's like 3 actors, 1 location. I'm specifically writing that film as a thing I can go out and do for a very cheap budget, and essentially just get a bunch of people who are crazy enough to go with me to go up to uh, my buddy's house up in upstate New York. You know, like 2, 3 actors and a couple of crew to go just be out there for 3 weeks and try to make a feature film. Um, on like a really like a no budget, you know, like 10 $15,000 budget. And so that one's a bit a big kick. The fact that I just have struggled so hard to kind of crack that has been a kick in the butt, because I really want to get back out and actually try to, you know, make something again, get back in the director's seat, or at least get back on set. So sometimes you just gotta like stomach, you gotta bite the bullet and put it on the shelf and wait for it to hit. So sometimes that's how it goes. Those are the best songs. Why that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you put enough comedy in the dialogue, I think you'd make it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing. It's definitely gonna have the kind of cheeky dialogue, and you know, and I'm trying to appeal, like I'm trying to lean into kind of the younger crowd a little bit, like actual high schoolers these days, and they're all pretty. I mean, I'm probably gonna pull back on some of the lingo, because some of the lingo, I need people who aren't necessarily in high school to understand what the fuck they're saying, but they're pretty cheeky and cracking jokes all the time. We've definitely created, the internet has definitely created a series of young generations of very smarmy, wise ass sort of, kids are always wise asses anyway, but it's like cranked to 11. It's just all meme jokes. But I'm trying to like handle that in a way will have people sound familiar, be at least the affinity enough will be there, so it's familiar. I don't like biting the bullet, but yes, that's very true, and I'm sorry to hear haunted house. Yeah, I mean the haunted house. There are projects that just linger like that. Please do talk my ear off about that later. I'd love to hear you talk about it through. Yeah. When I might, I had some ideas about revisiting it, but I'm trying to get through these other scripts first, and then I'll loop back around to ramp that up. And I'm not even in a position really to go try to drag a bunch of people to make a movie, at least in the next 6 months. So I'm like, I got time. I got time to figure that one out because I will not be on set bankrolling a micro to no budget movie, at least in the near future. Probably not for the remainder of the year. So it's not a huge loss, but I would like to actually like kind of crack the script just so I have it for when that becomes a possibility. All right. Okay, we're gonna run ads. I'm remembering the ads finally. We're gonna run ads, and then we're gonna jump into our third sprint. So ads are rolling, and we'll see y'all back here in a couple minutes to start on our next sprint. They sound delightful, Twilight. Yeah, they're they're smarmy kids. You gotta love the kids. You gotta love the kids before I, unleash the cosmic horrors upon them. Which is what's gonna happen. So, because it's one of my scripts, so it has to have a cosmic horror or at least existential horror angle. I'm just trying to I'm trying to lean the cosmic into the deep existential because I gotta make it punchy. Gotta make it punch hard. Some of the best cosmic horror stuff, or at least existential horror, I will say, is definitely you definitely gotta get it to like punch, because if you get too out there and it's just squid monsters in space and very like direct Lovecraftian adaptation kind of thing, it's just silly. It doesn't really like punch well in terms of like hitting you in the intellectual and emotional gut, as they might say. Oh, and we gotta hydrate, so everybody out there, be sure to get water. Where am I at? Do I need to restock? I might go restock. On water. All right, gonna go restock on water. I may be stuck behind ads, but I can still get you to drink water. Exactly, Cryptid. All right. We got water. Got water. All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to go stock up on water. Ooh. All right, water is stocked. Spooky tunes are rolling. Okay, where are we at here? Still got tea left. Oh my God, what is going on? Ow. What is happening? What is happening this eve? Okay. All right, we back? Did we make it back? We're through ads. Huzzah. All right, cool. All right, I got water. We got the hydrate going. Thank you, Cryptid. Please don't hurt yourself. You were just supposed to hydrate. Yeah, that's. I might start stumbling and tripping over things. Who knows? Okay. All right, everybody. It is time to begin another sprint. Oh, did the boy show up? The boy is here. Look at hi Shmoo. Hi, sweet boy. Yeah. He gets a very curious face because I'm talking and it weirds him out when I'm talking to a computer. I don't think he gets it. He gets confused. Hi. Hey, aber. Oshmeng. Hi, buddy. He's being excessively cute. So, all right. Anyway, buddy, he's concerned. Yeah, he's concerned for my well-being. Yeah, he's just gotta make sure I'm not losing my mind. I mean, as long as I feed him and I guess make sure that I adhere to his schedule. I don't think he'd care if I lost my mind. Yeah, exactly. Dad's talking to inanimate objects again. He's lost his mind. Alrighty, everybody. All right, we are gonna dive into. This will be, I think, our third sprint of the day. So let's get to it. Happy writing, everybody. Let's go get those words, and we will see you on the other side. And away we go. Alrighty, everybody. That's the end of that sprint. And I hope the words found you all well during the sprint. They keep sneaking up on me, which is a good sign. It means I'm actually like getting a decent amount of work done, which is always great. But unfortunately, I was gonna try to do 4 sprints today, just because I started so early. But I am starting to get a headache, and I'm pretty sure it's because I haven't eaten much today. So I am probably gonna call it and go eat. But we got 3 sprints done. so I'll take it. But yes, unfortunately, I think I am going to call stream here. Sadly, I wanted to try to get to 4. It's all been trying to build back up to 4 sprints, but we'll see. Sir, that's what UA was exactly. That is what UA was gonna snitch on. 100%. Yeah. I have. I forgot to eat before I started stream, so it is time for Wildlight to go get some food. So I am going to go eat, but we will see. If I do end up streaming tomorrow, maybe we can do 4 sprints tomorrow. Or if not, it'll be next week, because I think we will. We're starting to get back into the swing of things a little bit after being gone for so long. But for everybody who rated in earlier, thank you so much. Hope you got to get a little bit of work done. Yeah, thanks, Cryptid. Yes, please go eat. Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, this is what happens. Is I'm in a good place. I'm getting work done. The story's starting to fall into place, and that's usually when I start to forget to eat and take care of yourself a little bit. But it's a process. It's always a process about trying to get better. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Let us. Oh right as the feint kicks in. We'll send everybody out with the feint. But let's see who's on. For everybody who wants to keep on working. See if they want to go keep on writing. Let me search who is up and streaming. Let's see who is on. Is there anybody? What are we doing? Oh, it looks like okay. We've rated into. If anybody has anyone they like to go right with, let me know, because I am not seeing a ton of people. Oh, Lady Winter's on. I guess we can go say hello to Lady Winter. Alright. Ba-bam. Alright, we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, everybody. We will catch you next time. Tentative stream tomorrow. Tentative stream tomorrow, or we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming of a Tuesday stream. Tuesday stream on at the usual time, like 3. They made rating harder. Why is this harder on me? This should not be harder on me. This is bananas. Okay. God, God. All right, there we go. Good Lord. I still haven't figured out, so you've got me beat. I mean, that is just, oh God, what are we doing? Good Lord. No, okay, there we go. All right, we're going to raid in and say hello to Lady Winter, and for everybody who wants to keep on keeping on and keep the words going, they're doing a lot of work. So looks like it should be chill. All right. Take care, everybody. Love you all. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to everybody else. And we will catch you next time. Adios. Oh, I forgot. I got to do the thing. Countdown. All right. Awkward audios. All right.